Jackson Radio Show.
Yeah, the other side is fighting for communism. Socialism, communism has killed 100 million people. I grew up in Soviet Union, so I know what I'm talking about. 65 million people died in China. That's what the Democrats are fighting for, and that's what we're against. You're calling us neo-Nazis.
Sorry, I missed where you're from.
I grew up in Soviet Union. I'm a U.S. citizen. I came here legally. Yes, that's my wife.
Hi.
Yeah, she's an American, but I grew up in Soviet Union. I know what socialism leads to. It leads to killing of millions of innocent people. And here we have all those people. They're all socialist communists. And that's what we want in this country? 100 million people. You're talking about neo-Nazis. How many Jews did Nazis kill? 6 million.
Right.
How many people did communists kill? 100 million. So why are you worried about neo-Nazis? There are only 500 neo-Nazis here in the U.S. Look at these people. These are thousands of people. You're saying that all neo-Nazis are here many times over?
No, we're not saying that all neo-Nazis are here. We were asking about kind of the rise that's been happening.
No, they're asking about liberal stupidity, ignorance.
No, there is no rise. The rise is in nationalism. It's not in racism. It's in nationalism.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. That was a Russian guy, as you could hear, and he's talking about the rise of nationalism. It's the Kevin Jackson Show, KJRadio.com, 844-551-8255. I love listening to this guy. First of all, he talks about the rise of nationalism, but what I want to say, which, by the way, is the rise of rationalism, but one of the things that he touched on was a very important concept. And he said, you're focused on the Nazis. They killed 6 million Jews. Communism killed 100 million people. So do the math. Now, both of those are atrocious, but we use Nazi to say, look at what the Nazis, you're a Nazi, you're a Hitlerian, Donald Trump is like Hitler, blah, blah, blah. But communism is okay. Socialism is okay. Bernie Sanders talks about socialism as if it's utopia. This guy is saying to you, let me give you the real numbers. He's saying 100 million people were killed in the name of socialism, and you're happy about it. Come on, get happy. How could you possibly be happy about a system of government that in multiple places around the world has done nothing except kill more people than the neo-Nazis that you talk about? When's that ever been proposed? Has anybody said, oh, you love socialism? You like the killing of hundreds of millions of innocent people from a handful of powerful folks? Has anybody ever put socialism or communism in that context? No. We fight it by defending, not even really by defending ourselves against the call of being Nazis. Call me a Nazi. I'll say, I'll take your Nazi and I'll up you one socialist. Who you want to talk about? You want to talk about Pol Pot? Look at the dictators, Mussolini, all these guys. They're nothing but vicious killers. And they use the population to get behind them to do it. Every one of these African countries is run with the idea of some guy, some warlord or whatever saying, I'll take care of you all. As long as you capitulate. As long as you do what I say, you're cool. You can't get a person who is more, who understands it better than these foreigners. I will tell you, Joe the plumber and I did a tour, and we were somewhere down south. I don't remember where, and we went into a gun shop, and a guy came over to meet us. He's a big, I want to say he was Polish. He was either Polish or Russian. And he said to me, I took off work because I heard you guys were coming. And we talked for 5 minutes, and he explained where he came from, and he says, this country, I moved to this country to get away from the very thing that these leftists are fighting to implement. And he says it's so dangerous, and I want to do anything I can to warn people, you do not want what I had in my country. That's why I fought to leave. I'll never forget the guy. I can see his face right now. Obviously, I don't know his name. And many foreigners are this way. My photographer is from Romania. And she's like, I want nothing to do with this country. I live and breathe apple pie. The problem is we have a bunch of spoiled Americans, I hate to even use the word Americans because they don't feel like Americans. We have a bunch of spoiled leftists who believe they know America, and they believe all the hype and the nonsense of leftism, and nobody's able to challenge them on their views, and so they think they're right. They believe this construct of socialism and communism, which on paper is pretty appealing, is the way to go. Unfortunately, it's never worked. And look, we're getting into, okay, Kevin, you're telling us what we already know. I'm saying, how do we allow people to continue to have a discussion on stuff that's never worked, and it comes up and they proudly display the Communist Party of America, the Socialist Party of America. Maxine Waters, a proud, avowed socialist. People that will kill you for no reason at all. And it goes into every arc of, just think about it. They kill kids in the womb. They don't care. They kill kids on the street in neighborhoods that they don't give a crap about. In black neighborhoods and brown neighborhoods, kids are killed at an alarming rate. I'm talking about under 20-year-olds. Just look at the Chicago crime blotter every week and see how many people are killed. Look at who dies. 13-year-old kid shot and killed, 15-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid. If that type of crime was happening in the suburbs of Chicago, they'd go crazy. They tell you the lives they value. They don't value the lives of blacks and browns and anybody dying. They only value the lives of the people they deem worthy. This is eugenics at its finest. And black people are committing it on themselves, killing themselves. And these white bourgeois onlookers are happy to see it. They don't care. Rahm Emanuel, take it to the alley. He doesn't care. Black crime in Chicago has been at epidemic proportions for the entire time this fool has been mayor. And he's done nothing. And he won't do anything. If you think he will, good luck. He won't. Socialism and communism killed over 100 million people, and we're talking about nonsense. Unbelievable. The New York Times had this to say about the tearing down of monuments, and I'm going to tie this all back. They said, be careful in tearing down all these monuments, or you might give the right a cause. See, the New York Times, the leftist rag that it is, understands that nothing can be gained from this. The left believes they're winning, and when they tear down a statue of Robert E. Lee. Congratulations. If you think that's going to translate into a vote in 2018 that's going to be positive for the left, you don't understand strategy. See, they've already emptied their frustration out. We tore down that monument. There was nothing they could do. All right, so I'm going to go watch the next football game or play my Xbox. But let me tell you something. People on the right who understand this concept, and believe me, there are lots of blacks in America, and I'm going to use us as an example, black people, that get it. We don't care about these statues. We never cared about them. And what they wanted to do, these white folks wanted to get black people riled up, but they didn't. What they did is they made black people wake up and say, what if they're going to tear down MLK tomorrow? What if they're going to tear down what they've already torn down God, right? Where can you not? You can't display a nativity scene, but you could have porn at your disposal. Anywhere. Sex shops. Go to any big city, you'll find sex shops. You'll find peep shows. You'll find, I don't know if they do videos much anymore, but these XXX video places and, there's an area for prostitution in practically every major city. Yeah. There's an area. If you go to a major city, go to police and say, yeah, I'm doing a study. Where are the prostitutes at? And the cops will go, well, if you're looking for the prostitutes, they're going to be hanging out at the corner of Crenshaw and 3rd. They can tell you exactly where it is. But ask them where there's a nativity scene. They can't tell you. And I'm not just talking about during Christmas. Ask them where there's any symbol of Christ outside of a church. And, we don't allow that. This is the type of world we've built. Anyway, you guys, they believe you need a cause. What's funny to me is they believe that tearing these statues down, it gives you the need. Well, it could create a cause amongst the right. We already have our cause, leftists. We've been fighting it for the last decade, and I'm talking about in force. We've seen it over the last 2 decades, but we have really started to fight it in the last decade. We don't need a new cause. Our cause is to right this ship. And if you want to say you're bolstering us, you're emboldening us, I'll get it out, to really go harder, you're exactly right. That's why what you're finding, folks, this is good for us. It's testing our resolve and it's strengthening our resolve. Because I don't know about you, I see these statues coming down and I can see into the future, and I say, I don't like what I'm seeing. So I'm going to fight even harder.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.